Good afternoon, guys. You are back to the channel as we promised you that we'll be meeting the vice principal of the Gambia College. When we talk about Gambia College is a very big institution and also a very old institution whereby many people know. As some of you, the viewers, are asking where is Gambia College located. It's in the Gambia, as I told you. Today we are here to talk to one of the big authority that is the second in command in Gambia College. Madam, good afternoon to Maxwell's channel.
Good afternoon, Mr. Maxwell.
How are you, madam?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm also doing well. Today we came to your door to have one or two discussion with you. Firstly, before we go in, we would like to know who is Madam Ndow and your functions in Gambia College.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maxwell. I am Madam Isatou Ndow, and I think a lot of people just call me Madam Ndow, but my real name is Isatou Ndow. I am the current vice principal of the Gambia College. Before becoming vice principal, I started as an ordinary lecturer. That was in 1999-2000. Then after that, I became a senior lecturer. From senior lecturer, then I was promoted to the head school of education, where I spent, I think as a head of school, I spent about 12 years more at the school of education. And later on, I was promoted to be the vice principal of the Gambia College. I think since 1999, I've been working with the Gambia College, and it's very interesting for me, and I think I'm very proud to be associated to Gambia College. Gambia College is the tertiary institution that I think I've worked most of my life. I've taught in other institutions. That's the senior secondary, the upper basic, the lower basic. But I think the time I have spent at Gambia College, I've not spent it in any other institution. So I can say I am proud to be at the Gambia College.
Wow. If I could hear from you, you said you were once a lecturer and also before you were a lecturer and after you become an head of school for 12 years. Wow, that 12 years it will be at the age of somebody. So, Madam, I would like to know, within the 12 years when you become an head of school, what are some of the challenges that you encounter as an head of school?
Well, I think the challenges are numerous, or they were numerous, and they still are there. But I believe as a human being, challenges makes a human being strong. And I think it was through that philosophy that I was able to work with the School of Education for 12 years. That's as a head, an administrator, and also a lecturer. I think, how do you call it, like I said, those challenges are what made me what I am and what I was able to do and so on. Maybe, how do you call it, if I am to reflect back, when I became head of school of education, there were very few programs there. I think we only had PTC, ETC, and the ECD, which was just a summer program, 5 weeks and so on. But during that period that I was head of school for 12 years, I think there were so many transformations. I will not just associate it to myself, but I think it was teamwork. I had a team that I worked with, and I think it was through that teamwork that we were able to change the face of the School of Education, and we were able to bring in a lot of programs. And I can proudly say that it was during that period that we were able to, that is called the School of Education, together with the ministry, but with support from the ministry, we were able to sort of reduce or eradicate the number of unqualified teachers in the system, that's in the education system, especially at the lower basic level. And it was real hard work. We were able to implement programs. We were able to start the PTC extension program with Region 5 and Region 6, but then we were based in Region 5, that's at Amitage, where we trained all those who were unqualified teachers in the system. Those who were untrainable, the ministry had to get rid of them, but then we were able to do a lot of training. And I think it's from that also that we were able to sort of review our curriculum, revise the curriculum, and we brought in so many new programs.
So, Madam, I also want to know, within those past 12, let me say, within the year of 1998, you were still a vice principal. Sorry, head of school.
No,
or 2000, in the year 2000.
Year 2000. I came to the Gambia College in 1999, sorry. Yeah, 1999, that was when I came in as a lecturer.
Okay.
Yes, and then it was in 2003 that I became head of school.
So within the 2003, what are the programs that was run in the Gambia College?
I think like I said at the beginning, we had only the PTC, which attracted just about 300 students. The ATC, also ATC secondary, also attracted about 300 students. But I think from 2003 to now, we have been able to include or add the advanced, the ATC primary, which is a new program that we came in, because we realized that the teachers who were trained at PTC level, if they wanted to come back to the college, they would have to do the ATC secondary. And that meant that they would now move away from the primary to the upper basic or to the senior secondary. And that means also that we are losing a lot of good qualified teachers from the lower basic. So that was when we introduced the HTC primary, which is now called the Advanced Diploma Primary. The ECD also was, how do you call it, was modified. We only had the ECD students were only coming in for the summer 5 weeks program, and that was all. But then we were able to change it and then revise the curriculum, and we had a program where it was a 3-year program, but then with students coming in during the Christmas, during the Easter, and also during the summer. Instead of 5 weeks, it was 8 weeks and so on. And we also introduced, it was during that time also that the PTC Islamic, that's for Islamic teachers, was introduced. I remember the first batch we had, they were the students were older people who were almost about to retire because there was no training for the Islamic teachers and so on. We introduced the Islamic training program, and then after that also, that was when we also introduced the Islamic training for the madrasa teachers, because the madrasas also were not trained. Majority of them were unqualified teachers. So we were able to bring in all of those. And then in 2010 to 2012, that was when we also had a curriculum review. And the curriculum, through the curriculum review, that was when we were able to, that was when we changed the names, the nomenclature of some of our programs. Instead of saying ATC, now we talk about advanced diploma. And we had advanced diploma secondary, advanced diploma primary, and then advanced diploma ECD. So, sorry, diploma. Now, at the moment, we don't even have diploma because we have moved up. We've removed all the diplomas, the diplomas, and now we only have the advanced diploma. So we have advanced diploma primary, and that's for both in-service and pre-service. You have the advanced diploma secondary, then advanced diploma ECD for in-service and pre-service, advanced diploma Islamic, again pre-service, in-service. And at the same time also, that was when we also started a program that was, you know, a little bit different, which is how they call it, the certificate in catering. Because there we were approached by the YMCA. They had, how they call it, funds to do some training, and that was how we also developed the catering program for young people who might not be able to come into the education programs and so on. So if you look at it, we have been able to do a lot of things. We have been able to change a lot of things within that, how you call, period and so on. But like I said, it was all through teamwork. Yeah. We had, how do you call it, the staff that were very supportive. We also had the ministry that was also very supportive, and so on and so on. So I can say, if you look at the teachers in the system, I can say majority of them were trained during this period.
So now that you becoming a vice principal of Gambia College in 1999, when you moved, if I should say you were promoted.
But it is 2017.
Yeah.
That's when I was promoted as head of school.
Oh, okay.
No, 2015, 16.
Okay.
No, is it no 15? Sorry, because that was the past regime.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So you became the vice principal.
2015. But then what happened was I was handling both positions at the same time. That is head of school and vice principal up to 2017. 2015 I was made vice principal, but then still overseeing the head of the School of Education up to 2017, when I finally left the School of Education.
So finally, when you left the School of Education, then you become the principal of the 4 sister schools. The vice principal for the 4 sister schools? We want to know, when you become the vice principal for the 4 sister schools, what are some of the improvements that have taken place?
Well, I think when it comes to academics, we are seeing curriculum revisions. All the 4 schools, we have been able to revise their curriculum and so on. And not only that, but then also the programs, improve on the programs and so on. I can say, because of my background in education, and I have been in education for so long, maybe I might be accused of being biased with education and so on. Yeah. But then the other schools also, I have been working with them. We have been able to sort of look at their programs. Some programs have been introduced, like when you look at the School of Agriculture, there are new programs that have been introduced. The School of Public Health, there are programs that have been developed, and we are working on them for it to start. The School of Nursing also, there have been revision of curricula and then change of programs and so on and so forth. So all of these things have been happening. And then, together with so many other activities.
So being under the administration, under the curriculum review, most of the curriculums have been reviewed and things have changed within both the 4 sister schools. And we are saying here, under Islamic, is it they are being trained here? What are their functions outside?
Well, it is different from, when you look at the school system, especially when you look at the Islamic side, you have the madrasa and then you have the daras, which are sort of, I think, if I'm right, are referred to as the majlis and so on. Now, but then those who, the teachers who are trained here would be teachers, Islamic teachers who will be teaching in conventional schools. They are the ones who will be teaching Islamic studies in the conventional schools. But then you also have the madrasas, teachers who will be teaching in the madrasa. And they are training, or they are teaching the children from these schools. The daras, some of the teachers that we train here are also, the ones that would sometimes, work or teach in the daras and so on. But we do not, at the Gambia College, we do not train directly the teachers for the dara. Okay. But then, because it's all Islamic religious education, so when they are trained here, they find themselves close to a dara, they can easily teach in the daras and so on. But we train them primarily for the madrasa, which is a formal system, and then also the conventional school, where the Islamic teachers will go on to teach Islamic, which is different from the madrasa. In the madrasa, the language of instruction is Arabic.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Madam.
When I was talking, I think I didn't mention that among the programs also that we developed was the Christian education program.
Okay.
Yeah. That is the CRE. I think at the beginning we only had the PTC, one class that was doing the CRE, but then we were able to also, working with the Christian the Christian group, we were able to come up with a curriculum for the HTC, which is now the advanced diploma. So students who want to specialize in CRE will be able to come in and specialize in CRE, so that at least they can also teach that in the school system. Because as the Islamic teachers are teaching Islamic studies, the Christian students also need somebody to teach them their religion in the school.
Viewers, you can see there's a lot in Gambia College. Yeah, but now we're also looking up here. There are some of my viewers who are commenting for the past 2 weeks that they are having great issues in Gambia College. This morning in our episode 131 with Mr. Baje was telling us there have been that issue that have been happening since, but now things are being changing. What can you tell my viewers about that great problem that are making students queuing always, and also some of the students are having problem of getting their attestation?
Well, I think if I am to first of all start with the attestation, I think according to the Gambia College rules and regulations, before a student can receive his attestation or be attested, the student must have completed all his courses, that's called the programs and so on, the program, sorry, and then the person must not even have 1F and must have a CGPA, that's the cumulative grade point average of 5 points, sorry, of at least 2.50. Below 2.50, the student cannot be attested and so on. Now, for some students, it could be that they still had some receipts to clear, which they have not cleared. And then for others, it could be sort of how do you call an error in recording and so on. And because of that, the error has to be corrected and so on. Now, when you look at how do you call it, the issue of grades, especially the School of Education is expanding. The number of students is on the increase every time. And I think sometimes some lecturers find it difficult to sort of make sure that they submit their grades on time. And because they do not submit their grades on time, I think that also creates a problem for the students, because the students will not know whether they have a receipt, whether they have an F or an IC and so on. For the IC, the student would know because they know that it's an incomplete, there is one assessment or the other that they have not done. But then sometimes with the F grade, they might not know that they have an F grade, especially at the end of the trimester when they sit to an exam and so on. But I think all of these things, we at the Gambia College have been working very hard to make sure that it's a thing of the past, because we now have a portal system which sort of, how do you call it, if you look at it, it's an LMS, that's a learning management system, which would have all the properties of a learning management system, and lecturers would be able to enter or put in their grades, the grades of all the students. The students would have registered, and then every lecturer would be able to submit the grades through that LMS. So I think it would be a thing of the past. The few years, like how do you call it, this year, last year, I think this year is even much better. Last year, the year before that, we had challenges. We had a lot of challenges in that, but then it's because of the increase in student population, and then the fact that sometimes, how do you call, the lecturers do not submit their grades on time, and all of these things, how do you call, become a challenge. But like I said, this would be a thing of the past with the coming up of this LMS and so on.
Okay, there's something that also the students are having issue with about their timetable. On the grade committee, the one in charge of the grade explained that student does not register their courses on time. That is the reason why some of them are facing some of this issue, because the portal will be open for registration of courses, and students will not be able to register their courses and they will close. But students sometimes also see like the timetable are not uploaded on time. I don't know whether you can tell my viewers something about it.
Well, I think sometimes what happens is the communication. I think, how do you call it, sometimes we have communication issues. The students should be well informed. They should be adequately prepared and so on. But if they are not well informed, then there would be challenges and so on, because the students would not know. Sometimes, how to call it, or when we look at the students, let me say, when we look at the student, the background of the students who come to the college now are very young. They're directly from school, grade 12. Some of them, for some of them, this is the first time they even come into Brikama. And for most of them, all of these things we are talking about, they do not know, because they are from a senior secondary, and we all know the senior secondary, the way they operate and so on, is the teacher that does everything. Register, the teacher will come with the register into the class, call the names and so on, the grades, these are submitted and so on. So it's the orientation, I think, that needs to be improved. I think as Gambia College, we should be able to improve on the orientation that we give to the student. Because if we give them the proper orientation, if we have handbooks, clear handbooks that are written in very clear language and simple language, obviously the students will be able to sort of, how they could read that. At orientation, they will be able to understand what they're supposed to do. And then also, if we have the student support system, I think that is one of our challenges at Gambia College. Having an office that is, or a staff that would be called student support systems, or student support service and so on. We do not have that, and I think as a result, sometimes the students will not know where to go to. They know this is supposed to be this, but then where do they go to? What information are they supposed to get and so on. Sometimes they go to the student union, sometimes they go to the lecturers and so on. But I think if we had that, how do you call it, office or that unit, then it would be very helpful and it would be very easy for students. Then all of these problems that we are talking about, students not registering on time and all of that and so on, I think will be a thing of the past, which I think, how do you call, we are working on. Because right now, if I am to tell you, we have received support from the Commonwealth of Learning, and through that support we are going to develop learner support systems, services, and then we're also going to train the lecturers on how to support students and so on and so forth. So I think all of these things, Gambia College knows that these are things that are happening. We know it's a challenge, but then we are also not just sitting down doing nothing about it. We are also doing a lot, trying to work out the solution, work out ways of making sure that these things will be a thing of the past.
Guys, you can hear from the Vice Principal of Gambia College. You have elaborated a lot from the year she took over as a lecturer, from lecturer to the vice, the head of school, from the head of school to the vice principal. And since she became the vice principal, they have changed a lot of things. They have transformed the school to certain levels that, in fact, when we are talking about Gambia College today, that everybody want to apply it, they have a committee, or they have worked together and they have make it as it is today. And today that we are looking or crying, complaining about grading system or everything, as the grade officer told you guys, when it is being open, we need to pay our tuition fee so that we can be able to register our courses. Again, he make it very clear that the tuition fee must be paid in Gambia College account so that you can be able to get access to register your courses. If we will come back to Madam Ndow again to ask about, before they are not paying tuition fee, now they are paying tuition fee, and also there are many students who are finding it very difficult to pay their tuition fee, and they said if they don't pay their tuition fee, they will not be able to attend classes. Madam, what do you have to tell my viewers about it?
Well, I think if you look at Gambia College is a public institution owned by the government of the Gambia. It is an institution that belongs to everybody. Yes, since the establishment of Gambia College, I think in the 50s or before that, in the 40s, Gambia College has not been a fee-paying institution. When I say that, it means the students were not paying fees. But then all of this, how do you call it, all of these were sort of, how do you call it, on the soldiers of the government, because Gambia College would receive subvention, and the subvention, it's from the subvention that staff salaries are paid and all other, how do you call it, emoluments and so on. And on top of that, also stationery and all of these other.
So, as Madam is saying, it started since long, yes?
Yeah. So it has, and then I think able to benefit from the Gambia College training, because At that time, it was only Gambia College where you can apply to come in, you are trained, and then you're given a stipend, however small the stipend was, which was, how do you call it, almost up to $500 and so on a month. But then many people were able to how do you call it, take the opportunity to be trained and then got employed. And then not only that, also Gambia College is also another institution where once you finish your training, you are attested, you can easily get a job. Yeah, because of the 4 schools that we have: agriculture, education, nursing, and public health. Immediately a student graduates, then the student will be employed, especially when it comes to the School of Education. Okay, now I think, how do you call it, things are changing. We are getting more and more students and so on, and that is the reason why tuition fees was introduced. And when you look at the introduction of tuition fees was introduced in 2016. That was when the bill was signed by the then cabinet. At that time, that was when it was signed for Gambia College to now start charging fees, because we realized at that time that the needs of Gambia College could not be met, because the subvention we are receiving from government was not enough. So it was like we were living, struggling, living from hand to mouth. Whatever we get, pay salaries, and then few little things and so on. And that was the reason why we asked from the government if we can start charging fees, and it was approved and accepted. I know it's a challenge, it's a big challenge for some families, because to pay the tuition fees could be very challenging and so on. But I also know that, how do you call it, the ministries, that's the basic and secondary education, they do give some, how do you call it, scholarship to some students. We have also the MRC Holland that would also give scholarship to students. And you have some other individuals also that would give scholarship to students so that they can study at the Gambia College. And some even government institutions that also do help. It's a challenge, but I think Gambia College also is not an institution that is, how do you call it, made of stone, or how do you call it, or how do you call it, what would I say it again, that they are so strict on that. There are some students who come, and based on their situation, we understand them and we give them the necessary support. Like, for example, I can cite, we at the Gambia College, we enroll special needs students, the visually impaired, the hard of hearing. If you go to the School of Education, I think at the moment we have more than 20 registered students who are either hard of hearing, that's they have hearing and how they call speech issues, and at the same time also visual impairment and so on. But then when we enroll them, we know that those people, if they are to go back to their parents and ask for fees for them to come and pay, it would be very challenging, because we all know the concept, we all know the beliefs about disability in the Gambia. Many parents would not even want their disabled children to even be seen outside, and so on and so forth. So as a result, we do give them the necessary support. We don't ask them to pay anything. They come in, we register them, we support them, and then they graduate. When they finish, when they graduate, they get jobs. They are in the schools teaching and so on. So it is not everybody that we will say you must pay, otherwise you get out. And then we also give allowances also to students. We don't say you must pay your tuition fee, the whole amount at the beginning. We give allowances. We say, okay, you can pay half, or you pay this amount before the end of the year you pay. Because we know that hard, because some of them come from very, very poor families. But then, you know, that's the way we can help.
So, Madam, now, some of them that are having problem of paying tuition fee, whereby their academic performance are very good. This MRC, they don't get those sponsors, and this, because we even have a rumors that some are even saying that you have been sponsoring many students in this Gambia College. So those who does not have the chance to get a sponsor, what did the institution have for them?
Well, I'm sure if they do not have sponsorship, and they come out and then they write to the college to say this is how they call it, this is my challenge, or this is the problem I am facing, and so on. The college will be able to do something. Like I said, the college have been supporting, so they will support.
Guys, this
but
is
then it has to be something genuine.
Guys, this is a good news. You have to write to Gambia College when you are having problem. You don't need to sit at home. You need to voice out your problem so that you can get people to help. Sitting at home, going to places that people will take advantage over you, it's better to tell your institution your problem, but make sure what you are saying is true. Don't come and lie. Madam, now we are hearing some of them will be telling their mother is not alive, their father is not alive, but then you go into it, therefore they collect their tuition fee and they have eaten it. And are they not using that opportunity to block others' chances?
Of course, because if you do that and then it's realized that you're not genuine, what you're saying is not true and so on, I think that would block other people and so on. And even if it is not blocking other people, it will make it very difficult for other people to be trusted and so on. So if at all, the college would have used one or two, yardstick to measure, now if they see those kind of things, then they might take 2, 3, 4, 5 yardsticks to measure whether what you're saying is right or wrong and so on, or not true and so on. So obviously it will block. It will block a lot of opportunities and so on. And it will also make, the college also too, not to trust the students and so on. Because you will never know who is telling the truth and so on. Okay. So I think it's important that with the students who have difficulties or who know they have difficulties come out plain without telling lies or so on and so forth. Because Gambia College does not have the money. The only thing is we are trying to support. Because that should be our social responsibility, to make sure that we support those who cannot and have the good results and are doing very well and so on. But it is not because Gambia College has a bag of money where anybody who comes will just be supported. Because what the students pay is what we use again in order to take care of the institution.
On our last episode that we upload on the orientation, we didn't see you in that particular orientation.
Which one was it?
That is the general orientation. That was held in Brekama and both Basse. So there was a statement made by the principal that there will not be any sponsors. All those who are sponsors have to pay their tuition fee, and when their sponsors pay, their money will be refunded. So those who are crying for MOFSI, what do you have to tell those viewers what they should do, because they are really worried?
That the principal said no sponsorship and so on. Well, if MOFSI, I'm sure if MOFSI writes to the Gambia College to say we are sponsoring these people, and then fulfill the payments and so on, there would not be any issue. Because I know MOFSI would also want to train its teachers, because MOFSI would not want to let its teachers, especially those that are already trained, the in-service students, to just come pay for themselves and disappear into other institutions and so on. I don't think that would be the interest of MOFSI. But then we also have to understand that government cannot do everything. Government cannot do everything. At least there should also be other bodies, other groups that should also be able to come out and sponsor some of these students. And some of these students could also if they have the opportunity or the funds, they also pay for themselves. Because to me, education is important. You don't just have to wait for somebody else to sponsor you. Yeah. You can, if you have, I'm saying, if you have the funds, pay for yourself, the benefit will be yours tomorrow.
And we are also having a problem. Students are complaining of there's no fan in their classroom, and they're having large of classroom. Classes sometimes they cannot even hear and all those stuff. What is the school or the institution working towards that?
Well, I think the college is doing some renovations. If you can see, the MRC Holland was here to support in rehabilitating, renovating the college and so on. The college, like any other educational institution, I think we are faced with challenges. Yeah. Because the challenges here are our users. Okay, it's relating to our users, the way we use our space and so on. Different people come in and they use it in different ways. And I think as a result of that, we have equipments that will be bought within the next 1 or 2 months. They're all spoiled and so on. Let me give you an example of, for example, furniture. Gambia College would have furniture, but before you know it, the furnitures will all disappear. The way that people take care of the furniture, I think, is an issue. Some would be stolen, and I'm sorry to say this, but sometimes it's even the students who take this furniture. Gambia College is so big, you can just go anywhere and then, how do you call it, pick up some of these things and then go. I'm sure the viewers will say, what about the security? Yes, the security is there. But then during the day, you have a lot of students. I think if you look at the number of students that come to Gambia College daily, I can, how do you call it, say we have more than 5,000 that comes in daily, going in and out and so on. Because Gambia College from 8 o'clock in the morning to 7:30 p.m. or even sometimes 8 p.m. you have students going in and out and so on. Even if you have 100 security officers, obviously they would not be able to be in all places at the same time and so on. So some of them would take the furniture away without us knowing, and then some would also spoil them deliberately. And as a result, furniture becomes an issue. We have scarcity of furniture. The fans, some of them will just, how do you call it, put it on, leave it there until the end of the day and so on, unless a security officer comes in or a caretaker comes in to check, then that fan will be going on and on and on. So when it comes to even electricity, we pay so much of electricity and so on. But then again, it's the numbers. But then if we all were responsible, this is both staff and students are all responsible, then some of the challenges we are having, some of these hardcore funds we're talking about, some of the sockets that are not working and so on, would not be happening. We see sometimes students taking, how do you call it, sticks and so on, putting it into the sockets and all of that and so on. So these are some of the challenges that we have.
Yeah, viewers, you are crying about chairs, furniture in Gambia College that you are roaming. You know, you sometimes you have to know where the problem comes from. And to be very honest, my viewers, some of these problems are caused by the students of Gambia College, as we all know what is going on. To come to the end, Madam Ndow would like to know those who are coming from far away, who today they cannot stay anymore at the dormitory. When soon are they coming there, and what is the preparation so far?
Well, I think the dormitories we are the rehabilitation, and as soon as the contractor completes everything and hands over, so they will be able to come. It's how do you call it? We know some of them find it difficult, like I say, some of them this is the first time they're coming to become and so on. But then the dormitories, we are also in such a state that, you know, it was not possible for the students to live there. So we had to. And obviously, because the summer break is so short, the rehabilitation work could not be completed. So, but then I'm sure as soon as it's finished, when they hand over, then the students will be able to come back. But then again, when you look at the number of students we have, compared to the number of dormitories, we'll still know that some of the students will still have to stay outside or stay at home and so on. Because the number of students are far more than the number of available hardcore space in the dormitories and so on.
Wow, viewers, I know today you'll be very happy. I think we are going to the end of our conversation with Madam Ndow. Madam Ndow, what did you have to tell my viewers by all what you have told us? What is your summarization to
well,
the viewers?
I think Gambia College, as we always say, is the oldest tertiary institution. And I think through Gambia College, starting first Yundum College, before Yundum College, Janjambure and so on. I think a lot of Gambians have passed through Gambia College. And I think Gambia College is an institution that have seen and trained so many Gambians who today are in very, very high positions and so on. So I would want to say that Gambia College is ours. Let us support Gambia College so that it would be what everybody expects it to be. Yes, we have challenge. We have so many challenges. We are struggling. But then I think we still are working very hard to make sure that Gambia College is what it is supposed to be. And thanks to God, I think we are still where we are, and we are hoping that we will be somewhere else in the future. Before I close, I think We all have been hearing about the transformation of Gambia College. Gambia College will soon be transformed into a university, and that's a teacher education university. So we are proud as staff of Gambia College and even as former students of Gambia College. We are proud that we have been with Gambia College and we are still with Gambia College. So all those who are out there watching, give us the support, and obviously we will be where you want us to be. Thank you.
Guys, the support Gambia College need the support, especially students and any organization out there. Please don't take any assistance to anyone or should not be sent to anyone. Please, if you are within the continent or within the country, please, you see under the description down there the vice principal and the principal's email and their contact will be disposed there. Please, any assistance that you have for any student or the institution, please, the whole world are welcome to come and assist the institution so that it will be one of the best institutions in the world. And also, as we are having students who are in need of help, support in general, please, we are in need of your help. Come and assist the young youth who are ready to become our future president and our future leaders. Thank you very much. You are welcome once more. Keep on watching and subscribe. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button for more videos.